Hi everyone, I'm Marwan Rad, and this is Contemporary Understanding of the Quran, our first episode today, and it's going to be about what we call the opening of the book, Al-Fatiha, which is considered to be the first surah of the book out of 114 surah in total. I am adopting the translation of Dr. Abdul Dari Abadi, who is an Indian, a Muslim Indian, of course. He died in 1977. Most of the translations actually are coming from either Indian or Pakistani Muslims because they acquired English from their, early age, from their birth, because they were under the rule, colonized by the British, by Britain, and this gave them a chance to be acquainted once they converted to Islam and understood Islam, because they were also close to understand Arabic, since their mother tongue is somehow Urdu, which has the same alphabets of the Arabic and so many things in common. So it was easy to them to acquire the Arabic and understand it through the verses of the Quran and through much learning as well. Studies and linguistic and logical and epistemology and so on. I'd like to to say that this surah is Meccan, which means it was revealed in Mecca. Of course, in the early days of the revelation, and if you don't notice yet, you will, that all of the Meccan verses, and they are so numerous, I think there are about 90 of them, or 80 something rather, and all those verses, all those surahs actually are comforting in the sense of how they were revealed, and in the sense of the verses, meanings and purpose and objective of. So the Prophet can probably have some kind of a peace of mind and can learn to have more wisdom, more manners, and has a lot of values, and it's preaching patience and worship, of course. All in all, the context of it is like we say wisdom in general. So yeah, that's I think about it. So it's the opening of the book, first one. I'm gonna read the surah in Arabic first, for those who can do or who know little Arabic. It's gonna be easier one time after the other, or day after day or something, to be able to recite it in Arabic as well. And then we're going to go through the translation of it and the explanation, so we can, understand it, better, I may say. Okay, all surahs except one, and in time you will know which one is, start by, some consider it a verse, some consider it just, like the title or like the beginning of the surah, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So this is kind of to start reading or start reciting. It's favored, and it's much preferred, if I may say. Bismillah Rahman Rahim means in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. We continue. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise unto Allah, Lord of the worlds. That is glorifying God, Allah in Arabic, in Islam, for being so gracious, giving us this life, and to recognize that He is actually the Lord of the world, which means owner of everything. He created everything, so He's the owner of. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the compassionate and the merciful. These are attributes of God, amongst other attributes that we will learn in the course of time. Compassionate, that is gracious, most gracious even. Merciful, it's like He has some compassion, and he has mercy, and takes care of everybody, of everything, and everything is calculated to Him for the benefit of mankind. Maliki Yawmiddin, that is owner of the day of reckoning, which means He is going to be the sovereign of the day of judgment, the day of deen, the day of it means the end of let's say the duty or the mission or something. That day is the end of time, kind of. So He will be the owner then. He will be the sovereign, the only authority in that sense. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. That is Thee alone, in the language of similar to the Bible and the old Shakespearean and all this, because as I said, these translators have their linguistic life began with that era. So Thee alone we worship. It means we only worship You. Okay? And of Thee alone we seek help. And we hope that we can have all the needs and aids that we want or we need from You, which means You be our guidance, in a sense. Okay, guide us in the straight path. Guide us in the straight path, which means show us the right way. It's as simple as this. Show us the right way, which means, okay, we are Your creatures, we are on earth, we know we don't know things, so tell us what we should know. Something like that, to make it, simple and easy. Show us the right way, the straight path, as in the verse. This path in particular is explained, or it showed which one. It shows in the next verse which path is it. The path of those whom thou hast favored, which means this path that we want you to show us, to guide us to, we hope that it will be the same path that you showed to those upon whom you bestowed your graciousness, which means the good people, on whom thy indignation has not befallen. Those group of people, you did not curse, or you did not bestowed upon your wrath or any indignation, in the sense that you meprise them, that you didn't compensate because of something they did actually, which is they didn't believe, and so on and on. So those particular people, okay, we don't want to be like them. We want you to be to favor us, to bestow upon us your graciousness, okay, like how you did with others, okay, but not of those and who have not gone astray. Two categories. We don't want to be like them. We don't want to have anything they did, and so on. Those are whom thy indignation had not befallen, okay, which is on whom thy indignation has not befallen. Okay, we don't want to have your indignation. That's what it means. And the other group is who have not gone astray, which means those who followed your guidance and did not go astray in either sense, left or right or whatever. That means they followed your instructions. So this is in brief 7 verses composed the opening of the book, and it's kind of very simple, and this is recited in every single prayer we make. You know, as Muslims, we have 5 prayers a day, what we call morning, where the Fajr, early hours before sun breaks, or even after that, and then the Dhuhr, the noon, midday or something, and then we have the afternoon, al-Asr, then we have al-Maghrib, right after the sun, disappear kind of, and the Isha, which means the night. That is 1 to 2 hours after the sunset. Okay, so in every single prayer, this opening, we start with it, the prayer, plus another small verse or small surah, or few verses of any surah we prefer or we choose. It's important because it's given a title. This surah is given a title, the opening of the book. You mean, when you start reading one book, always the first thing in the book, which is kind of identifying the author or the book, or identifying the subject as a whole, or so on. It's this much important. I hope that it's clear in the meaning. It's only 7 verses, but I hope it's clear and it's well understood. And although we finished it in like 15 minutes or so, we leave it just there. And every day, as I said, we will be reading and explaining to understand better those verses of the book in no more than 30 minutes, inshallah. So, thank you for your listening, and I appreciate that, and hope to see you tomorrow, inshallah.